What really happened to Canserbero, the Venezuelan rapper whose lyrics touched the souls of millions and whose story we all thought was closed for almost 9 years? Welcome to Moto Ezekiel. Tirone José González Orama was born on March 11, 1988, in Caracas. He grew up in a difficult environment, losing his younger brother in tragic circumstances as a teenager, and then his mother years later, events that profoundly marked his worldview. He found refuge in music, especially in conscious rap. He began to write raw, honest lyrics that spoke of depression, social inequality, internal struggle, authentic pain, and dark thoughts that many keep silent. His albums, Vida and Muerte, became essential references in Latin American rap. Songs like Es Epico, Pensando en Ti, and Jeremiah 17:9 resonated because they reflected real vulnerabilities. Tirone didn't just rap, he connected. He conveyed the feeling that someone finally understood the weight of existing in an unjust world. And in his rise, he fully trusted those around him, especially Natalia Améstica Moraga, his manager. She was a figure who entered his life through the music circle, organizing international tours in Chile and Argentina, handling contracts, payments, and daily schedules. She was present at recording sessions, celebrations, and moments of emotional crisis. This closeness became absolute, natural, and necessary because, in the industry, blind trust is sometimes the only way to move forward. He shared spaces with Carlos Daniel Molnar Gonzalez, a music producer, bassist, Natalia's partner, and a close friend of Tirone. They all formed a network of relationships that seemed solid, unbreakable. But beneath that surface, silent tensions were building. Disputes over unpaid money after exhausting tours, pending payments that generated deep resentment, professional decisions that excluded Natalia from future projects, feelings of humiliation, and envy for the recognition Tirone received while she remained in the background. A resentment that grew year after year without anyone noticing. No one connected the subtle dots. No one interrupted the prolonged contact that allowed everything to continue as it was. Then came January 2015, a seemingly routine night in an apartment in the Camino Real building in Maracay. Preparations for new recordings, usual conversations, moments of absolute closeness that no one imagined would be the last. Tirone did not return. Neither did Carlos. And the version that Natalia gave as the sole witness quickly became the official narrative. A story of a deep crisis, of an irreversible act preceded by an unexpected conflict. The system accepted it without delving into obvious forensic inconsistencies. The family carried the pain, believing this explanation for years. Fans mourned a loss that seemed self-inflicted. Tirone's legacy was trapped in a distorted image of extreme fragility, while Natalia moved on. So did her brother, Guillermo Améstica Moraga. Intimate memories of Tirone remained hidden under a façade that no one questioned enough. Human failures, blind trust, unexpected interventions that no one interrupted, time gifted because the subtle signs were ignored. 8 years and 11 months passed like this. Doubt persisted in some close circles. The family never stopped feeling that something was not quite right, but the system did not act. The truth seemed buried forever. And then, in November 2023, Attorney General Tarek William Saab announced the reopening of the case. Exhumations, exhaustive forensic reviews, testimonies reviewed one by one. Contradictions slowly emerged. And on December 26th of that year, the recorded confession arrived. With the help of her brother Guillermo and unexpected contacts, they altered perceptions, manipulated the scene to maintain the initial narrative. A betrayal that took advantage of decades of absolute loyalty. The irreparable damage was already done. Irreversible consequences for the family, for friends, for millions of followers who had built their admiration on a false version. In February 2024, Natalia and Guillermo were sentenced to 25 years in prison, and in December of the same year, 5 more accomplices received sentences for cover-up and alteration of the scene. Justice finally advanced, but an unsettling feeling remains. How many times do we place total trust in someone too close without noticing the resentment that grows in silence? How many times can a person rewrite reality if no one questions it enough? And while for almost 9 years no one connected these dots decisively, that gave them time to keep the facade intact. Don't let the truth take so long to arrive in your own life. Subscribe now to Moto Ezekiel. Activate the notification bell, because when the signs start to appear, you'll want to see them first. You'll want to be prepared before it's too late. Canserbero's lyrics continue to resonate today, speaking of authentic pain, internal betrayals, and the fragility of human trust. His story reminds us that the most disturbing danger does not always come from strangers. Sometimes it lives in the silences we allow, in the closeness we give without reservation, in the time we gift to those who harbor resentments we never imagined. The deepest betrayal is built slowly, year after year, layer by layer. And when the truth finally emerges, the damage is already impossible to repair completely. Sleep carefully tonight. Ask yourself who really knows your most intimate vulnerabilities, who has access to your lowest moments. Because the next person you blindly trust could be accumulating a resentment you never saw coming. See you in the next installment of Moto Ezekiel, if silence permits.